How to develop a mind that wins every time. Introduction. What if the only thing standing between you and the life you desire is the way you think, the choices you make, and the habits you build? Every day you're faced with two paths. One leads to growth, success, and fulfillment, while the other keeps you stuck in the same cycle, repeating the past. The difference? Your mindset, your actions, and your willingness to change. Winners aren't born, they are made. They don't wait for luck, wish for opportunities, or hope for success. Instead, they train their minds to dominate challenges, turn failures into fuel, and push forward when others quit. They develop a deep, unshakable belief that no matter the odds, they will find a way to win. While most people let fear, doubt, and distractions control their lives, winners take control of their thoughts, master their emotions, and condition themselves to thrive under pressure. But here's the truth. Thinking like a winner is not a talent, it's a skill. And just like any skill, it can be learned, trained, and strengthened over time. The way you think determines the way you act, and the way you act determines the results you get. If you've ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, or incapable of achieving your goals, it's not because you lack potential. It's because your mindset hasn't been trained for success yet. This book isn't just words on a page. It's a blueprint for transformation. It's a guide to rewiring your mind, breaking free from self-imposed limits, and stepping into the life you were meant to live. By the end, you won't just understand how winners think, you'll become one. So if you're ready to take control of your future, reprogram your mind for success, and develop the unshakable confidence to win in every area of life, then listen closely. The journey starts now. Chapter 1. Adopt the nothing is impossible mentality. Winners don't believe in limitations, they believe in possibilities. They understand that the only true limits are the ones we place on ourselves. When they encounter challenges, they don't allow fear or self-doubt to dictate their actions. Instead of asking, "Can I do this?" which leaves room for hesitation, they ask, "How can I do this?" This single shift in thinking changes everything. It transforms obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into stepping stones. Imagine for a moment what would have happened if the great minds of history had given in to doubt. If Thomas Edison had accepted failure after his first few attempts at inventing the light bulb, the world might still be in darkness. If the Wright brothers had believed that human flight was impossible, airplanes wouldn't exist today. Every major breakthrough, from technological advancements to personal achievements, was once considered impossible, until someone had the courage to prove otherwise. Your mind is incredibly powerful, but it can either be your greatest ally or your biggest enemy. If you constantly tell yourself something is impossible, your brain will find reasons to support that belief. You will subconsciously block opportunities, ignore solutions, and stay stuck in a cycle of doubt. On the other hand, if you adopt the belief that anything is possible with enough effort, learning, and persistence, your mind will begin to look for solutions instead of barriers. Start training yourself to eliminate words like impossible and can't from your vocabulary. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I haven't figured out how to do this yet." Instead of thinking, "This is too hard," shift your mindset to, "This is challenging, but I will find a way." Your words shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your actions. One of the best ways to build this unstoppable mindset is to challenge every limiting belief you hold. Whenever you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," "I don't have what it takes," or "I'll never be able to do this," pause and ask yourself, Is this really true? Or is this just a story I'm telling myself? More often than not, these limiting beliefs are not based on reality, but on past experiences, fears, or societal conditioning. A powerful exercise to rewire your thinking is to replace doubt with a question: what would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? Imagine for a moment that success was guaranteed. How would you act? How would you approach your goals? How much more confidently would you pursue your dreams? The truth is, most people never reach their full potential, not because they aren't capable, but because they never truly believe they can succeed. The secret to thinking like a winner is to act as if success is inevitable. Winners don't wait until they feel confident to take action. They take action, and confidence follows. They don't sit around hoping for the perfect conditions. They create them. If you start treating your goals as if achieving them is just a matter of time and effort, you will naturally develop the resilience and determination needed to make them a reality. The next time you face a challenge, remind yourself, nothing is impossible. You have the power to figure things out, to grow, and to succeed. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is your mindset. Change that, and you change everything. Chapter 2. Train your mind to see setbacks as setups for success. One of the biggest differences between winners and those who struggle in life is how they perceive failure. Most people see failure as the end of the road, something to be ashamed of or avoided at all costs. But winners think differently. They don't fear failure. They embrace it as a stepping stone to success. They understand that every setback is a setup for a comeback. Think about the most successful people in the world: entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, and leaders. None of them reached greatness without facing failures along the way. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was cut from his high school basketball team. Walt Disney was fired from his first job for lacking imagination. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. What made them different was not their talent alone, but their ability to see failure as a learning experience rather than a dead end. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. Every time you make a mistake or experience a setback, you gain valuable insights. You learn what doesn't work, what you need to improve, and how to adapt. Winners extract lessons from every failure and use them to grow stronger. They don't dwell on what went wrong. They focus on how to move forward. The key to developing this mindset is to reframe the way you think about failure. Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "I learned." Instead of thinking, "This setback is proof that I'm not good enough," tell yourself, "This setback is proof that I'm trying, and I'm one step closer to figuring it out." The more you shift your perspective, the less fear you will have around failing. Another way to train your mind to embrace setbacks is to look for hidden opportunities in every challenge. Sometimes, what appears to be a failure is actually redirecting you towards something better. Steve Jobs was famously fired from Apple, the very company he helped create. At first, it seemed like a devastating loss, but in hindsight, he described it as one of the best things that ever happened to him. It gave him the freedom to explore new ideas, leading to his eventual return and the reinvention of Apple into the powerhouse it is today. When you encounter failure, ask yourself, what is this experience teaching me? How can I use this lesson to improve? Instead of letting setbacks defeat you, let them refine you. Treat every failure as feedback and use it to adjust your strategy and keep moving forward. Think about a past failure that made you feel defeated. Instead of looking at it as a negative event, try to identify at least 3 valuable lessons it taught you. How can you use those lessons to make smarter decisions moving forward? Remember, the road to success is never a straight path. There will be detours, obstacles, and moments of doubt. But if you train your mind to see setbacks as setups for success, nothing will be able to stop you. Winners don't quit when they fail. They learn, they adapt, and they come back stronger. Chapter 3. Develop relentless self-belief. The foundation of every great achievement is belief. Belief in one's abilities, belief in the possibility of success, and belief in the power of persistence. Winners don't wait for permission to believe in themselves. They don't rely on external validation to feel worthy. They cultivate an unshakable inner confidence that drives them forward, even when no one else sees their potential. Self-belief is not something you are born with. It is something you develop. Every time you push through a challenge, take action despite fear, or prove to yourself that you are capable, your belief in yourself grows stronger. The problem is that most people wait for confidence to come before they take action. They think, once I feel confident, I'll go after my goals. But the truth is, confidence doesn't come first. Action does. Winners understand that self-belief is built through experience, not wishful thinking. One of the biggest reasons people lack self-belief is because they let past failures define them. They replay their mistakes over and over, allowing those experiences to shape their identity. But winners don't let past failures dictate their future. They see failures as isolated events, not personal reflections of their worth. Instead of saying, "I failed, so I must not be good enough," they say, "I failed, so I must learn and try again." This small shift in thinking makes all the difference. Another reason people struggle with self-belief is because they compare themselves to others. Social media, society, and peer pressure constantly feed us unrealistic expectations, making us feel like we're not doing enough or that we're falling behind. Winners, however, don't measure their worth by other people's progress. They focus on their own journey. They understand that self-belief comes from within, not from external achievements or approval. They know that confidence isn't about being the best. It's about trusting themselves to keep going, no matter what. To develop relentless self-belief, you must reprogram the way you talk to yourself. The words you use daily shape your mindset. If you constantly say, "I'm not smart enough," "I'll never succeed," or "I don't have what it takes," your subconscious mind will accept those statements as truth. Winners train themselves to replace negative self-talk with empowering statements. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," they say, "I am learning. I am improving. I will find a way." Instead of thinking, "I don't have enough experience," they think, "I will gain experience by taking action." One of the most powerful habits you can develop to strengthen self-belief is keeping a record of your small wins. Every time you accomplish something, no matter how small, write it down. Did you step outside your comfort zone today? Did you stay consistent with a habit? Did you push through fear? These are all victories that prove you are capable. Over time, this record will serve as undeniable evidence that you are stronger than you think. Another strategy is to act as if you already believe in yourself. Even if you have doubts, carry yourself with confidence. Speak with certainty, make decisions with conviction, and move as though success is inevitable. The mind and body are connected. When you act with confidence, your brain starts to believe it. Over time, this creates a cycle where your actions reinforce your belief, and your belief strengthens your actions. Take 5 minutes every day to write down 3 things you like about yourself, or 3 small wins you achieved. Speak positive affirmations to yourself daily. If self-doubt creeps in, challenge it by asking, "Is this thought helping me or holding me back?" Then, replace it with a belief that empowers you. Relentless self-belief isn't arrogance. It's knowing that you are capable of growth, learning, and success. It's understanding that no matter how difficult the journey gets, you have what it takes to figure things out. The only person who needs to believe in you is you. When you master this mindset, nothing will be able to stop you. Chapter 4. Master the art of self-discipline. Self-discipline is the bridge between goals and achievements. It is what separates those who dream from those who make their dreams a reality. Winners understand that success is not built on motivation alone, because motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. What truly drives long-term success is discipline, the ability to stay committed to a goal, even when the excitement fades, even when it's difficult, even when no one is watching. Many people struggle with discipline because they wait to feel like doing something before they take action. But winners know that feelings are unreliable. They don't let their moods dictate their actions. Instead, they develop the habit of showing up every day, regardless of how they feel. They understand that consistency, not occasional bursts of effort, is the key to mastery. The first step in mastering self-discipline is learning to control your impulses. Most people give in to distractions too easily. They procrastinate, indulge in unhealthy habits, or seek instant gratification instead of making choices that align with their long-term goals. Winners train themselves to delay gratification. They understand that short-term pleasure often leads to long-term regret, while short-term discipline leads to long-term success. One of the biggest misconceptions about discipline is that it's about willpower. People think they need to have incredible mental strength to be disciplined, but that's not true. Discipline is not about forcing yourself to do things through sheer willpower. It's about creating systems and habits that make success inevitable. For example, if you want to eat healthy, don't rely on willpower alone. Change your environment, remove junk food from your home, and stock up on nutritious options. If you want to be more productive, set up your workspace to minimize distractions and create a daily schedule that keeps you focused. Another key to developing discipline is keeping promises to yourself. Every time you set a goal and follow through, you build trust in yourself. But every time you break a commitment, you reinforce the belief that you can't be trusted to stay consistent. Winners take their commitments seriously. They treat personal promises with the same level of importance as commitments to others. They understand that discipline is not just about achieving external success. It's about developing self-respect. To build stronger discipline, start by setting small, non-negotiable habits. If you struggle with waking up early, start by getting up just 10 minutes earlier each day. If you find it hard to exercise, commit to just 5 minutes of movement daily. The goal is not perfection, it's progress. Small wins build momentum, and momentum leads to bigger successes. Another powerful technique is to eliminate decision fatigue. Every day we make hundreds of small choices that drain our mental energy. Winners simplify their lives by creating routines and systems. They decide in advance what they will do and when they will do it, reducing the need for constant decision-making. For example, many successful people wear the same type of outfit daily to avoid wasting energy on trivial decisions. Others schedule their workouts, work sessions, and meals at the same time each day to build consistency effortlessly. Identify one area of your life where you lack discipline. Set a simple, achievable habit that you will commit to daily, no matter what. Track your progress and celebrate small wins. When you feel tempted to give up, remind yourself that every disciplined action strengthens your character and brings you closer to success. Discipline is not about punishment, it's about empowerment. It's about taking control of your life, your time, and your future. The more disciplined you become, the more freedom you will experience. When you master the art of self-discipline, you gain the ability to shape your destiny rather than being controlled by circumstances. Winners don't rely on motivation to succeed. They rely on discipline, and that's what makes all the difference. Chapter 5. Surround yourself with a winner's circle. The people you surround yourself with have an enormous influence on your mindset, habits, and ultimately, your success. Winners understand that their environment plays a crucial role in shaping their thoughts and actions, so they are intentional about the company they keep. They don't just let anyone into their inner circle. They choose to be around those who inspire, challenge, and push them toward greatness. Think about the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they driven, positive, and growth-oriented? Or do they complain, make excuses, and settle for mediocrity? Studies show that your income, habits, and overall success are often an average of the 5 closest people in your life. If you spend time with people who constantly doubt themselves, you will start doubting yourself too. If you are surrounded by people who procrastinate, you will find yourself procrastinating. But if you spend time with individuals who are ambitious, disciplined, and always striving for more, their mindset will rub off on you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is holding on to toxic relationships out of familiarity or obligation. Just because you have known someone for years does not mean they deserve a place in your future. If someone is negative, constantly discouraging your dreams, or pulling you down with their energy, it might be time to distance yourself. Winners don't allow toxic influences to occupy space in their lives. They protect their energy, knowing that negativity is contagious. But surrounding yourself with the right people isn't just about avoiding negativity. It's about actively seeking out those who elevate you. Winners make it a priority to connect with people who are smarter, more experienced, and more successful than they are. They seek mentors who can guide them, peers who challenge them, and friends who genuinely want to see them succeed. Instead of feeling intimidated by successful people, they study them, learn from them, and apply what they learn to their own journey. If you don't currently have a strong network of winners around you, don't worry. In today's digital world, you can access inspiration and knowledge from successful people at any time. Read books written by high achievers. Listen to podcasts featuring successful entrepreneurs. Watch interviews of people who have overcome challenges similar to yours. Even if you don't personally know these individuals, consuming their content can help you adopt their mindset. One of the fastest ways to upgrade your environment is to join communities of like-minded individuals. This could be a mastermind group, an online forum, a business network, or a local meetup of people who share your goals. Being in an environment where success is the norm will shift your beliefs about what is possible. When you see others achieving great things, it reinforces the idea that you can do it too. Another important aspect of building a winner's circle is learning to add value to others. Many people approach networking with a "what can I get?" mentality, but true winners focus on giving. They support, encourage, and help others grow. By doing so, they naturally attract high-quality relationships and create a network of strong, mutually beneficial connections. Take an honest look at your inner circle. Identify people who uplift you and those who drain your energy. Make a conscious effort to spend more time with those who inspire and push you to be better. Seek out new connections with individuals who embody the qualities you aspire to have. If you don't have access to such people yet, start by consuming content that fuels your mind with winning thoughts. Your environment has the power to either propel you forward or hold you back. Winners don't leave this to chance. They carefully design their social circles to reflect the kind of person they want to become. If you want to think like a winner, you must surround yourself with winners. Make this a priority, and watch how your mindset, habits, and success transform as a result. Chapter 7. Visualize success until it becomes reality. Winners achieve great things because they first see those things happening in their minds. Long before success manifests in the real world, it is created in the imagination. Visualization is one of the most powerful mental tools winners use to program their minds for achievement. They don't just set goals and hope for the best. They mentally rehearse their victories, seeing themselves achieving their dreams over and over until success feels inevitable. The power of visualization is backed by science. Studies have shown that when you vividly imagine yourself performing an action, your brain activates in the same way as if you were actually doing it. This means that if you consistently visualize yourself succeeding, whether in business, sports, relationships, or personal growth, you are training your brain to recognize success as familiar and achievable. Athletes, CEOs, and high performers across all fields use this technique to sharpen their focus, build confidence, and reinforce their belief in their abilities. However, visualization is not just about seeing an image in your mind. It's about feeling it. The more emotions you attach to your visualizations, the more powerful they become. When winners visualize success, they don't just picture themselves winning. They feel the excitement, the confidence, the sense of accomplishment. They immerse themselves so deeply in the experience that their subconscious mind begins to accept it as reality. And when the subconscious mind believes something is possible, it starts working to make it happen. The best way to practice visualization is to make it a daily habit. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, close your eyes, and take deep breaths to relax your mind. Then, picture yourself achieving your biggest goal. Imagine the details. Where are you? What are you wearing? Who is with you? How does success feel? Try to engage all your senses. Hear the sounds, feel the textures, experience the emotions as if it's happening right now. The clearer and more vivid your visualization, the stronger its impact. Another powerful way to reinforce visualization is by creating a vision board. A vision board is a collection of images, quotes, and symbols that represent your goals. When you see these images daily, your brain stays focused on your aspirations, and you become more motivated to take action. Many high achievers credit vision boards with helping them manifest their dreams because they serve as a constant reminder of what they are working toward. But visualization alone is not enough. You must take action. Winners don't just daydream about success. They use visualization as a tool to fuel their motivation and guide their decisions. Every time they visualize success, they ask themselves, what actions can I take today to bring this vision closer to reality? Then they follow through with consistent effort. Visualization also helps overcome fear and self-doubt. Many people fail to take action because they are paralyzed by the fear of failure. But if you repeatedly visualize yourself succeeding, your mind starts to replace fear with confidence. You become less focused on obstacles and more focused on possibilities. Instead of thinking, what if I fail? You start thinking, what if I succeed? This shift in perspective is often the difference between those who stay stuck and those who rise to greatness. Set aside 5 minutes every morning and night to visualize your success. Close your eyes and immerse yourself in the emotions of achieving your goals. If you find it difficult to visualize, write down a detailed description of your dream life as if it has already happened. Read it daily and let it inspire you to take action. Your mind is your most powerful asset. Whatever you consistently feed it will eventually shape your reality. Winners use visualization as a tool to align their thoughts, emotions, and actions with their goals. When you train your mind to see success, you naturally start moving toward it. See it, believe it, take action, and soon you'll be living the reality you once imagined. Chapter 8. Master the art of grateful presence in every interaction. Winners understand that true success isn't just about achieving goals. It's about being fully present in every moment and appreciating the journey. The ability to cultivate gratitude while remaining fully engaged in each interaction is a rare but powerful skill. It sets apart those who live with purpose, connection, and fulfillment from those who are constantly chasing the next achievement without ever feeling satisfied. In today's fast-paced world, many people are physically present but mentally absent. They go through conversations distracted, thinking about their next task, their phone notifications, or their endless to-do list. They nod along without truly listening, missing the depth of the connection right in front of them. Winners, however, practice grateful presence, a state of being where they give their full attention to the person they are with, the task at hand, and the moment they are experiencing. Being present means silencing the mental noise and focusing completely on the now. It means looking people in the eye when they speak, truly listening instead of waiting for your turn to talk, and valuing the moment as if it were the most important one of your life, because in reality, it is. You cannot relive yesterday, and tomorrow is never guaranteed. The only moment you truly have is now. Gratitude is the key that unlocks deep presence. When you are grateful for a conversation, a lesson, or even a challenge, you automatically become more engaged. Winners train themselves to find value in every experience. Even in difficult moments, they ask, "What can I learn from this? How is this shaping me into a stronger person?" Instead of wishing for different circumstances, they find gratitude for the opportunity to grow. One of the most profound ways to practice grateful presence is by slowing down and savoring small moments. Instead of rushing through your day, pause to appreciate the little things: a kind word, a deep conversation, a moment of silence, or even a setback that taught you something valuable. Winners don't just chase big wins. They find success in the small victories that make up their journey. Another important aspect of grateful presence is eliminating distractions. Many people struggle to stay present because their minds are overloaded with endless thoughts, notifications, and unnecessary worries. Winners create boundaries that protect their focus. They turn off their phones during deep work, set aside technology when spending time with loved ones, and train their minds to resist the urge to multitask. They understand that quality always outweighs quantity. A few minutes of undivided attention is more meaningful than hours of half-hearted engagement. The ability to be fully present also strengthens relationships. People can sense when you are truly listening and when you are just pretending to. When you give someone your full attention, you make them feel seen, valued, and respected. This deepens trust and strengthens connections, whether in friendships, family, business, or leadership. Winners build powerful networks not just because they are successful, but because they are present and engaged in every interaction. Another powerful habit is starting each day with intentional gratitude. Instead of waking up and immediately thinking about stress or tasks, winners take a moment to appreciate what they have. This could be as simple as being grateful for the ability to breathe, the opportunities ahead, or the people in their lives. By setting this tone in the morning, they train their minds to focus on abundance rather than lack. Throughout the day, make it a habit to pause and ask yourself, am I fully present right now? Am I giving this moment my full attention? If you catch yourself being distracted, gently bring your focus back. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you are grateful for and how they impacted your mindset. Living with grateful presence is a skill that transforms not only your success, but your overall happiness. Winners don't just achieve, they experience life deeply. They recognize that success is not just about reaching the destination, but fully embracing the journey along the way. By mastering this mindset, you won't just think like a winner, you'll live like one. Chapter 9. Reprogram your mind with calm codes. Winners don't just train their bodies, they train their minds. They understand that success isn't just about working harder, it's about thinking smarter. The way you think shapes the way you act, and the way you act determines the results you get in life. But most people don't realize that their thoughts are not entirely their own. From a young age, your mind has been conditioned by external influences, family, society, school, media, and past experiences. Many of these influences have programmed you to think small, doubt yourself, or fear failure. If you want to develop a mindset that wins every time, you must take control of your mental programming and replace limiting beliefs with calm codes. Powerful thought patterns that keep you focused, confident, and resilient under any circumstance. Your brain operates like a supercomputer, and your thoughts are the software running it. If your mind is filled with negative, fearful, or self-defeating beliefs, it will continuously produce negative results. But if you consciously replace those outdated beliefs with new, empowering ones, you will rewire your brain for success. Winners do this intentionally. They don't allow negative thoughts to control their decisions. Instead, they create and install their own calm codes, mental commands that keep them centered, unshaken, and in control. One of the most important calm codes winners adopt is, I can handle anything. Life will throw unexpected challenges your way, but instead of panicking or feeling overwhelmed, train your mind to respond with calm confidence. The moment a problem arises, repeat to yourself, I can handle this. There is always a way. This simple shift in self-talk prevents stress from taking over and keeps your mind clear to find solutions. Another powerful calm code is, every challenge makes me stronger. Instead of seeing difficulties as setbacks, winners see them as training opportunities. They understand that every challenge they overcome strengthens their mind, builds resilience, and prepares them for bigger victories. The next time you face an obstacle, remind yourself, this is making me stronger. I am growing through this. This reframe eliminates fear and keeps you focused on progress rather than problems. Visualization is another technique winners use to reinforce their mental programming. Before an important challenge, whether it's a presentation, a competition, or a big decision, they close their eyes and see themselves succeeding. They imagine feeling calm, focused, and completely in control. This mental rehearsal trains the brain to recognize success as familiar, making it easier to stay composed under pressure. If you practice this daily, your brain will automatically default to confidence instead of stress. One of the most effective ways to reprogram your mind is through affirmations. These are positive statements that counteract self-doubt and replace them with empowering beliefs. Instead of letting your inner critic control your thoughts, take charge of your self-talk. Every morning, repeat affirmations like, "I am focused, calm, and unstoppable." Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. I trust myself to find solutions. I refuse to let fear control me. By repeating these affirmations consistently, your subconscious mind begins to accept them as truth. Over time, these calm codes become automatic, helping you stay mentally strong in any situation. Another powerful tool is mindfulness. Winners understand that the mind can easily be hijacked by stress, distractions, or negative thoughts. They train themselves to stay present and in control. Whenever their mind starts racing with worries, they take a deep breath, focus on the present moment, and remind themselves, "I am here. I am in control. Everything is unfolding as it should." This simple practice instantly shifts their energy from chaos to calm, allowing them to make better decisions. But reprogramming your mind isn't just about what you say to yourself, it's also about what you consume. Your mental state is influenced by the information you feed your brain. If you constantly consume negativity, news, gossip, or self-doubt, your mind will reflect that. But if you fill your environment with uplifting books, inspiring mentors, and positive influences, your mindset will shift naturally. Winners carefully guard their mental space. They limit exposure to toxic influences and intentionally seek out content that strengthens their belief system. Identify one negative thought pattern you struggle with. Write it down, then create a calm code to replace it. For example, if you often think, "I'm not good enough," replace it with, "I am constantly improving and capable of success." Repeat this daily until it becomes your new default thought. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have. When you reprogram it with calm codes, you gain control over your emotions, reactions, and decisions. You stop being a victim of stress and start becoming the master of your mindset. Winners don't let life dictate how they feel. They dictate how they respond to life. And that is what makes them unstoppable. Chapter 10. Unplug to reconnect with yourself. In a world where distractions are constant and information overload is the norm, true winners understand the importance of unplugging. They know that clarity, creativity, and deep focus don't come from being constantly connected, but from intentional disconnection. To think like a winner, you must learn to step away from external noise and reconnect with yourself. This means creating space for deep thinking, self-reflection, and mental stillness, something most people rarely experience in today's fast-paced digital world. The problem with being constantly plugged in, whether it's through social media, emails, notifications, or endless scrolling, is that it fractures your attention. Your mind becomes scattered, always reacting to outside stimuli instead of directing its own course. This makes it difficult to think deeply, make clear decisions, and truly understand what you want in life. Winners recognize this trap and intentionally disconnect to regain control over their focus and energy. One of the biggest benefits of unplugging is the ability to think without distraction. When was the last time you sat in silence, without a phone, TV, or background noise, and simply allowed yourself to think? Most people avoid stillness because they are afraid of what they might discover. But deep self-awareness is a key trait of winners. They set aside time to reflect on their goals, evaluate their progress, and ask themselves important questions. Am I on the right path? What truly matters to me? Am I living in alignment with my purpose? These moments of solitude bring clarity that is impossible to find in a constantly distracted state. Another reason winners unplug is to regain control over their time and mental energy. Many people wake up and immediately check their phones, allowing outside forces to dictate their mood and mindset for the day. A negative email, bad news, or social media comparison can instantly throw them off course. Winners do the opposite. They start their day intentionally. Instead of consuming external content first thing in the morning, they take time to focus on their own thoughts, priorities, and personal growth. They might meditate, journal, read, or simply sit in silence to set the tone for a productive day. The constant need to stay connected also creates mental fatigue. Every time you switch between tasks, check notifications, or respond to messages, your brain expends energy. This leads to decision fatigue, making it harder to focus on what truly matters. Winners avoid this by creating unplug zones, dedicated periods where they step away from screens and immerse themselves in focused work, meaningful conversations, or deep rest. They understand that their best ideas, strongest insights, and most effective decisions come when they are fully present, not when they are endlessly multitasking. Unplugging also strengthens emotional well-being. Social media, for example, is designed to keep you hooked by triggering dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. While it can be a useful tool, excessive use often leads to negative self-comparisons, anxiety, and even lower self-esteem. Winners don't allow external influences to dictate their self-worth. They take regular breaks from social media to reconnect with reality, build genuine relationships, and focus on their personal journey rather than comparing themselves to others. Another powerful reason to unplug is to enhance creativity and problem-solving skills. Some of the greatest innovations and breakthroughs in history happened when people allowed their minds to wander freely. Albert Einstein's best ideas came during moments of quiet reflection. Steve Jobs was known for taking long walks to think deeply. Writers, artists, and visionaries throughout time have relied on solitude to spark creativity. When you unplug, your mind is free to explore new ideas, connect seemingly unrelated concepts, and come up with solutions that wouldn't arise in a cluttered, distracted state. But how do you unplug in a world that demands constant connection? The key is setting boundaries. Winners don't allow technology to control them. They control how they use it. They establish clear rules, such as no phone or social media in the first hour of the day, dedicated time each day for deep work without distractions, regular digital detox periods where they completely disconnect from screens, spending time in nature or engaging in hobbies that don't involve technology, setting no-phone zones during meals, conversations, or relaxation time. Schedule at least 1 hour each day where you completely unplug, no phone, no social media, no distractions. Use this time for deep thinking, reflection, or a creative activity. If you struggle with this, start small, just 10 to 15 minutes a day, and gradually increase it. Notice how your mind feels clearer, your focus sharper, and your energy more balanced. Unplugging is not about rejecting technology. It's about using it intentionally rather than letting it control you. Winners understand that real power comes from self-mastery, and that begins with controlling what you allow into your mind. When you take time to disconnect from the noise of the world, you reconnect with your inner wisdom, creativity, and purpose. And that is where true success begins. Chapter 11. Master the Art of Mental Toughness. Winners are not just intelligent or talented, they are mentally tough. Mental toughness is what allows people to push through obstacles, handle stress with grace, and keep moving forward when everything seems to be falling apart. It's what separates those who quit at the first sign of difficulty from those who achieve greatness despite the odds. If you want to think like a winner, you must develop the ability to stay strong, focused, and unshaken no matter what challenges life throws your way. Most people assume that mental toughness is something you're born with, but that's not true. It's a skill, and like any skill, it can be trained. Just as athletes strengthen their bodies through intense workouts, winners strengthen their minds by deliberately exposing themselves to discomfort and overcoming it. They do not avoid difficulties. They seek them out as opportunities for growth. They understand that resilience is not built when life is easy. It is built in moments of struggle. One of the key traits of mental toughness is the ability to control your emotions. Life is unpredictable, and not everything will go according to plan. Most people react emotionally to setbacks, allowing frustration, anger, or fear to dictate their decisions. Winners, however, train themselves to remain calm under pressure. They practice emotional discipline by taking a step back, assessing the situation logically, and making decisions based on strategy rather than impulse. A powerful way to build this skill is by practicing delayed reaction. When something triggers a strong emotional response, whether it's a rude comment, a failed attempt, or an unexpected challenge, don't react immediately. Instead, pause and take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is my reaction helping me or hurting me? This simple habit can prevent unnecessary mistakes and keep your mind focused on solutions rather than problems. Another critical aspect of mental toughness is the ability to embrace discomfort. Winners understand that real growth happens outside of their comfort zones. They don't shy away from challenges just because they're hard or uncomfortable. Instead, they lean into difficulty, knowing that every struggle strengthens them. Whether it's waking up early to train, facing rejection without giving up, or pushing through fatigue to finish an important task, they see discomfort as proof that they are growing. To develop this mindset, start doing hard things on purpose. If you're afraid of public speaking, put yourself in situations where you must speak in front of others. If you struggle with discipline, set small but challenging daily goals and stick to them no matter what. If you fear rejection, challenge yourself to face it more often. The more you expose yourself to discomfort, the stronger your mind becomes. Eventually, what once seemed impossible will feel normal, and you will develop an unstoppable level of confidence. Mental toughness also requires the ability to bounce back from failure. Many people let failure define them. They take it personally, see it as proof that they are not good enough, and give up. Winners, on the other hand, have a different perspective. They see failure as data, feedback, and part of the learning process. Every time they fail, they analyze what went wrong, adjust their strategy, and try again with even more determination. One of the best ways to reframe failure is to adopt the win or learn mindset. Instead of seeing failure as a negative outcome, see it as an opportunity to grow. Winners do not ask, "Why did this happen to me?" They ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in thinking eliminates fear and allows them to take more risks, knowing that even if they fail, they will walk away smarter and stronger. Another powerful strategy is mental rehearsal. Just as athletes visualize their success before a big game, winners mentally prepare for challenges before they happen. If they know they are about to face a stressful situation, they take time to imagine themselves handling it with confidence. They picture themselves staying calm, thinking clearly, and overcoming obstacles effortlessly. This mental preparation reduces anxiety and increases their ability to perform under pressure. But mental toughness is not just about pushing through pain and difficulty. It's also about knowing when to rest and recover. Winners don't burn themselves out by working endlessly without breaks. They understand that resilience is built not only through effort, but also through proper recovery. Just like muscles need rest after intense workouts, the mind needs time to recharge. Whether it's through meditation, quality sleep, or spending time in nature, they prioritize mental recovery so they can stay sharp and effective. Identify an area in your life where you tend to react emotionally or struggle with discomfort. The next time you face a challenge, practice delayed reaction. Pause before responding, take a deep breath, and choose a response that aligns with your long-term goals. Additionally, challenge yourself to do one uncomfortable thing each day to strengthen your resilience. Mental toughness is not about being fearless or emotionless. It's about developing the strength to keep going even when things get difficult. It's about mastering your emotions instead of letting them control you. Winners don't wait for life to be easy. They train themselves to be stronger. When you develop this level of mental resilience, no setback, challenge, or failure can stop you from reaching your goals. Chapter 12. Build unshakable confidence through action. Confidence is one of the most powerful traits a winner can possess. It allows people to take bold action, push past fear, and persist in the face of obstacles. But true confidence isn't about arrogance or pretending to be fearless. It's about having an unshakable belief in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. The key to developing this kind of confidence isn't waiting until you feel ready. It's taking action before you feel ready. Most people think confidence is something you either have or don't have. But in reality, confidence is built. It is developed through repeated action, learning from mistakes, and proving to yourself that you can handle challenges. Winners don't wait for confidence to magically appear before they go after their goals. Instead, they understand that confidence follows action. The more you take action, the more capable you become, and the more capable you feel. Think about any skill you've ever learned: riding a bike, driving a car, or even speaking in public. The first time you tried, you were probably nervous, unsure, or even scared. But as you practiced, your confidence grew. The same applies to every area of life. If you want to feel more confident in business, relationships, or personal growth, you must start by taking action, even when you feel uncertain. One of the biggest obstacles to confidence is overthinking. Many people get stuck in a loop of self-doubt, constantly questioning whether they are good enough, smart enough, or ready enough. They replay worst-case scenarios in their minds and convince themselves they need more preparation before they can take action. Winners, however, train themselves to break free from this mental paralysis. They recognize that overthinking leads to hesitation, and hesitation leads to inaction. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, they take action despite their doubts. A powerful way to build confidence is by keeping promises to yourself. Every time you set a goal and follow through, you reinforce the belief that you are reliable and capable. On the other hand, every time you break a promise to yourself, whether it's skipping a workout, procrastinating on a project, or avoiding a difficult conversation, you weaken your self-trust. Winners treat their personal commitments as sacred. They know that confidence isn't just about believing in yourself. It's about proving to yourself, through consistent action, that you can be trusted. Another critical factor in confidence building is exposure therapy. Intentionally putting yourself in situations that challenge you. If you fear public speaking, start speaking in front of small groups. If you lack confidence in networking, push yourself to start conversations with new people. If you're afraid of failure, take on small risks regularly. The more you expose yourself to uncomfortable situations, the more comfortable you become. Over time, what once seemed terrifying will start to feel normal. Winners also use positive self-talk to reinforce confidence. Your mind believes what you tell it repeatedly, so if you constantly say, "I'm not good enough, I always fail," or "I'll never be successful," your brain will accept these statements as truth. Instead, winners train themselves to replace negative thoughts with empowering ones. They use affirmations like, "I am capable of handling anything that comes my way. I grow stronger and more confident with every challenge I face. Every step I take moves me closer to success." By consistently feeding their minds with positive reinforcement, they reshape their inner dialogue and build a foundation of self-belief. Another powerful tool winners use to build confidence is body language. Research shows that the way you carry yourself affects the way you feel. Standing tall, maintaining good posture, making eye contact, and using strong, deliberate movements can trick your brain into feeling more confident. Winners consciously adopt body language that exudes confidence, even when they don't feel it. Over time, this physical reinforcement helps shape their mental state. One of the fastest ways to grow confidence is to focus on preparation rather than perfection. Many people hesitate to take action because they feel they need to be perfect. Winners understand that perfection is an illusion. It's better to start and improve along the way than to never start at all. They prepare as much as necessary, but they don't let preparation turn into procrastination. They take the leap, knowing that confidence grows through experience. Confidence is also closely tied to resilience. Winners know that setbacks and failures do not define them. They are simply part of the learning process. When they experience rejection, mistakes, or criticism, they don't take it personally. Instead, they use it as feedback to improve. They remind themselves that failure is not a reflection of their worth, but a necessary step toward mastery. Every challenge they overcome reinforces their belief in their ability to handle anything life throws at them. Identify one area in your life where you feel a lack of confidence. Instead of waiting to feel ready, commit to taking action today, no matter how small. If you fear public speaking, say something in a meeting. If you lack confidence in social situations, start a conversation with a stranger. If you're unsure about a new skill, begin practicing. Each small action will add up, and before you know it, you'll have built unshakable confidence. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build. It is not about being fearless. It is about taking action despite fear. Winners understand that confidence is earned through experience, and they never let self-doubt stop them from going after what they want. The more you step outside your comfort zone, the more capable you will feel. Confidence isn't about knowing you will always succeed. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you have the strength to figure it out. Chapter 13. Cultivate laser-sharp focus to achieve anything. Winners don't just work hard, they work smart. And the key to working smart is focus. In a world filled with distractions, most people struggle to concentrate on what truly matters. They jump from one task to another, constantly checking their phones, responding to notifications, and allowing their minds to be pulled in multiple directions. But winners operate differently. They cultivate laser-sharp focus, eliminating anything that doesn't serve their goals and directing all their mental energy toward what will drive them forward. Focus is the ability to ignore distractions and devote your full attention to the task at hand. It's about training your mind to resist temptation, avoid multitasking, and stay committed to a single objective for an extended period. Winners understand that what you focus on expands. If you constantly focus on distractions, problems, and trivial matters, your progress will be slow. But if you channel your attention toward your goals, your results will multiply. One of the biggest obstacles to focus is mental clutter. Most people carry too many thoughts, worries, and unnecessary information in their minds, making it difficult to concentrate. Winners clear this clutter by prioritizing ruthlessly. They ask themselves, what is the one thing that, if accomplished today, will move me closer to my goal? Then, they focus on that task with complete dedication. Instead of wasting energy on minor, low-impact activities, they work on what truly matters. Another common mistake people make is multitasking. While many believe multitasking makes them more productive, research shows that it actually reduces efficiency and increases mistakes. The brain works best when it is focused on one task at a time. Winners follow the single-tasking rule. They set aside time blocks to work on one thing without interruption. Whether it's writing, studying, training, or problem-solving, they immerse themselves fully, giving their best effort to the task before moving on to the next. To develop laser-sharp focus, it's essential to design an environment that supports concentration. Your surroundings greatly impact your ability to stay focused. Winners remove distractions before they begin working. They put their phones on silent or in another room, close unnecessary tabs on their computers, and eliminate anything that might break their flow. Some go as far as using noise-canceling headphones, working in quiet spaces, or setting specific focus hours where they are completely unreachable. One of the most effective strategies for maintaining focus is the Pomodoro technique, working in 25 to 50-minute intense focus sessions, followed by a short break. This method trains the brain to stay fully engaged for a set period while preventing burnout. Winners structure their time wisely, balancing deep work with strategic breaks to keep their energy levels high. Mental discipline is another critical component of focus. The ability to control your thoughts, ignore distractions, and bring your attention back when your mind wanders is a skill that must be trained. Winners do this by practicing mindfulness. They observe their thoughts without being controlled by them. If they catch themselves daydreaming or checking social media out of habit, they immediately refocus their attention on their task. This level of self-awareness allows them to regain control quickly instead of wasting hours in distraction. A powerful way to sharpen focus is through visualization. Before beginning an important task, winners take a moment to mentally rehearse their success. They close their eyes and visualize themselves deeply engaged, working with precision and efficiency. This mental preparation conditions the brain to enter a high-performance state, making it easier to stay locked in on the task. Nutrition and lifestyle also play a role in focus. Winners fuel their bodies with foods that enhance cognitive function, lean proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates, while avoiding excessive sugar and junk food, which cause energy crashes. They prioritize hydration, exercise regularly, and get enough sleep to keep their minds sharp. They understand that focus is not just a mental game, it's a whole-body commitment. One of the best habits for maintaining long-term focus is learning to say no. Many people get distracted because they take on too many commitments, overloading themselves with unnecessary obligations. Winners are selective about where they invest their time and energy. They protect their schedules, decline distractions, and avoid time-wasting activities that don't align with their goals. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something essential. Action. Step. Identify your biggest distraction and create a plan to eliminate or reduce it. If your phone is your biggest distraction, set a rule to check it only during designated times. If social media consumes too much of your attention, use website blockers or log out when working. Commit to a deep work session for at least 30 to 60 minutes today, focusing on one important task without interruptions. Focus is not just about productivity, it's about power. When you train yourself to direct your full attention to the things that matter most, you gain an edge over the competition. Winners understand that their time and energy are their most valuable assets, and they refuse to waste them. By mastering focus, you unlock your full potential and create results that others only dream of. Thinking like a winner is not about luck, talent, or external circumstances. It is about how you train your mind. Every great achievement, every success story, and every breakthrough begins in the mind. The difference between those who win in life and those who remain stuck is not intelligence or resources. It is mindset. Winners think differently, act differently, and approach challenges with a different level of resilience and determination. Throughout this book, you have learned the key principles of developing a mind that wins every time. You now understand that nothing is impossible if you eliminate limiting beliefs. You know that setbacks are not failures. They are stepping stones to success. You have seen how self-discipline, confidence, and focus separate the achievers from the dreamers. And most importantly, you have discovered that success is not an event, but a way of thinking, a way of acting, and a way of living. But here's the truth. Reading about these principles is not enough. Knowledge is only valuable when it is applied. The most successful people in the world do not just know these lessons, they live them every single day. Winners take action, no matter how uncertain or unprepared they feel. They embrace challenges instead of running from them. They cultivate resilience instead of making excuses. They train their minds just as athletes train their bodies, because they know that success is built in the mind long before it is seen in reality. Now, the choice is yours. You can continue thinking the way you always have, allowing doubts, fears, and distractions to dictate your life. Or you can reprogram your mind for success. You can choose to develop relentless self-belief, master self-discipline, eliminate distractions, and take control of your destiny. Start today. Challenge yourself to take action, even when you don't feel ready. Train yourself to think in solutions, not problems. Surround yourself with winners who inspire you to grow. Rewire your self-talk to reinforce confidence and power. Focus on what truly matters and eliminate what does not. Winners don't wait for the perfect moment. They create it. They don't let life happen to them. They take control. They don't stop at knowing what to do. They do it. If you commit to this mindset, nothing can stop you. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have. When you think like a winner, you will win in every aspect of life: your career, your relationships, your health, and your happiness. The world belongs to those who refuse to settle. Are you ready to think like a winner and take control of your life? Because the only thing standing between you and success is the decision to begin.